demanding that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike retract his threat to arrest beggars in Abuja or face legal action. The minister issued the threat during a road construction ceremony at Katampe district, but promising a crackdown starting Monday to prevent Abuja from turning into a beggar city. Wike suggested that some individuals posing as beggars could be criminals, and because of this, he made that statement. But in response, SERAP argued via social media that penalizing people for their socio-economic status is unjust. The group urged Wike to address poverty's root causes and offer support for the homeless rather than criminalizing vulnerable individuals. Then what do you do? Okay, let me not start with analyzing that story now. We discussed this yesterday, and from the thought of our guest, he mentioned that even though he sees that that could be defacing a city, just like SERAP has said, the root causes should be addressed. But I'd like to bring you up on this story.
Oh, well, I think, of course, it will not be very nice that you have beggars on every street corner, especially in the Federal Capital Territory. It doesn't really tell well of the city. But then again, I'm aware that we have beggars even in Washington, D.C., which is equally the seat of power of the United States of America. So we have beggars in Paris, we have beggars in London, we have beggars in England. But I am also aware that they are properly managed. But in the case of Nigeria, like what SERAP has said, instead of threatening them with arrest, you can make provisions for them. Unless, of course, you have enough prisons, you have large spaces to keep all of them. Let us equally check, why do we have beggars? Was it like this 10 years ago? When I mean was it like this, I'm talking about the proportion. When you measure it with what we had in the past, we have beggars everywhere. Corporate beggars, regular beggars. They are, in fact, it's
Is that not something that should be addressed?
It's a terrible situation.
If it's as much as you have mentioned, and you've even talked about some of the types that we have, is that not something that should be addressed?
Agreed. Like the minister said, he has a responsibility to maintain sanity in Abuja. There could be beggars, there could be criminals who pretend to be beggars. Like what he said, that's true. But then again, it is also the responsibility of the authority of the FCT, headed by the FCT Minister, to carry out proper investigation, fish out those who are pretending to be beggars, who are the criminals, because that is why you have intelligence agencies. You know, if we have intelligence agencies that are truly working, like the SSS and the likes, you can profile some of these people. Then the actual beggars, who by no fault of theirs, I'm not sure there is dignity in begging. No sane human being would want to take to begging. You know, there's no dignity in that. But there are certain situations you find yourself, and you know, instead of going into crime and criminality, it's okay, let me beg for alms. And something could have led to that. And one of the best ways to address that is still profiling. You don't need to just arrest them, you profile them. And the ones that can be assisted, you give them assistance. They are Nigerians. You know, you create alternatives for them. Of course, you don't have to be...
the ones that are Nigerians, because there talks about some of these people coming in from other countries.
The ones who come from other countries who don't even have the legitimacy, because Nigeria shouldn't be a dumping ground for people who don't have anywhere to go. You understand what I'm saying? Even before you can stay in the street of New York or Paris or one of them to beg, you have to be a citizen. Even beggars should have citizenship, you know. So those ones that are not Nigerians, who are illegal immigrants, of course, those ones can be sent back to their country. You can't keep them in the prison. You have to make necessary provisions for them to be sent back to their country. because they are illegal, they are illegal immigrants. But the ones who are legit, there has to be, adequate provisions for them. Like I've said before, there's no dignity in begging. So if somebody has been pushed, to that way of life because of the condition he found himself, then the government has a responsibility to provide for that person.